Hi, I'm Dr. Weiner. I'm a bariatric surgeon and an author, and I answer people's questions that they have about weight loss and bariatric surgery and nutrition. And if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, you can go to drweiner.com on your phone, your tablet, your computer, and scroll down a little bit, find the start recording button that I've circled here, and record a question, give it access to your microphone. You can listen to the recording once you're done to make sure you like the way it sounds, send it off, it comes to my email, and there's a good chance I'll make a video about it. So let's hear today's question about how do I eat a pound of vegetables after a sleeve gastrectomy?
If you are a bariatric patient, as in the case of myself, who's a sleeve patient 5 years out, I don't know that I can eat a pound of vegetables in a day. So what would be your recommendation for someone with a limited amount of room to consume vegetables? Thank you.
So this is a great question. It's probably one of the most common questions I get. And it's certainly understandable. I wrote a book called A Pound of Cure, which is really based on the first and most important step, which is to eat at least a pound of vegetables every day. The idea is eating tons and tons of super healthy food that crowds out some of the unhealthy processed foods that we eat. But obviously I'm a bariatric surgeon as well, and so a lot of patients initially after bariatric surgery have very limited ability to eat, and a pound of vegetables is something that is just not possible. And I think there's a couple of points. The first point is that over time, after bariatric surgery, you are able to eat more and more and more food. And that's what this graphic first tries to demonstrate, is that as you move from 3 months to 1 year to 18 months, your ability to eat is going to increase. And it never comes back to the way it was before surgery, but you know what? A lot of bariatric patients, I'd almost say most, can eat a decent amount of food. Not a massive amount of food, but can certainly eat a pound of vegetables. Maybe not all in one sitting, but for sure throughout the day very comfortably. So after bariatric surgery, in those first 3 months, we really focus on protein, protein, protein. And that's because these first 3 months are really the recovery phase. And that's where we are genuinely concerned about your ability to consume enough food and fluid to stay alive and to stay healthy. And so focusing on protein, which is kind of a fundamental building block, is important. And your body's metabolizing all of your fat and using those resources as well. And so those first 3 months, you're not eating anything even close to a pound of vegetables. There's a lot of patients who eat almost no vegetables in those first 3 months. If you can do it, you should, but it's really not critical. But as you get to a year, you're able to eat a little bit more, and it comes kind of like a 50-50 thing where you're going to eat the protein. And again, you're still eating. If you look, this brown represents the protein and the green represents the vegetables. The brown stays the same, but as we move through, we eat more and more vegetables until we get 5 years out where you're still eating that same small amount of protein. Because at 5 years out, at 3 years out, even at 18 months out, you're not going to starve to death. You don't need to focus on protein. You need to focus on produce. And the more vegetables you eat at that point, the better off you're going to be. So at 5 years out, you're still eating that same relatively small amount of animal protein, but you're eating a ton of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and beans and plants. So over time, what I would hope is that you kind of slowly and progressively increase the amount of vegetables that you get. When I wrote the book, A Pound of Cure obviously is kind of a common colloquial saying, but it really is more of a metaphor than an actual requirement. It's not that you must weigh out that pound and every single day you eat that pound, because really a pound of vegetable is not that much and is actually very easy to eat that much. The magic kind of happens at 2 pounds. This is a metaphor for the idea that you're going to eat as many vegetables as you possibly can every day. And we have to dissociate this idea that eating causes weight gain. Eating processed foods causes weight gain, but eating plants does not cause weight gain. In fact, the more plants you eat, you tend to be thinner. So a pound of vegetables is a large tomato, a medium-sized cucumber, broccoli, a couple of carrots, cauliflower. You know, it's the amount. I know I can eat a pound of vegetables in one sitting. I haven't had bariatric surgery. If you've had bariatric surgery, chances are you're going to have to break that up into 2 or 3 meals throughout the day, but you still will be able to eat that pound of vegetables. And it's so important that you still focus on that and not worry about protein, because you're not going to starve to death. your chances of regaining weight are about 100 times higher than your chances of losing too much weight and developing some serious nutritional problems. So focus on the produce once you get past that recovery phase and can eat comfortably and are no longer at risk for developing malnutrition. I hope this was helpful. You can find more information about how to eat vegetables and why they're so important for your health and your weight loss on my website, drweiner.com. You can check out Nutrition Course number 2 and Nutrition Course number 3, or my book, A Pound of Cure, which outlines my nutritional program, or my new book, How Weight Loss Surgery Really Works.